Welcome. You are listening to the Be a Better Being podcast hosted by Michelle Zellner and Sasha Berscheid. Michelle and Sasha are here to give you information and inspiration to help you live your healthiest, happiest lives. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show.
Greetings. Thank you for tuning in to the Be a Better Being podcast. I'm Michelle Zellner, your host, and I have Sasha with me today. What's going on, girlfriend? You have like this bright sunbeam on your face.
Yes, I changed locations and I went around my house and I was like, where can I be like a cat? Just want to have that sun coming down, glistening on me and just giving me all the positive vibes, all the good energy. So here I am. I'm in my bedroom. I found a little corner and I really just feel like a cat.
I love it. I always think that cats, especially like cats in your house and my house, they have no idea how good they have it.
No, this morning, you guys, I went downstairs and I cleaned up. This is so wonderful. I cleaned up a little vomit patch and then there was so wonderfully a half digested bird in it. And I was like, oh, cat, you live the life. Look at you. You're vomiting up cat food and consumed bird. You love it. You get the best of both worlds, don't you, cat? So, yeah.
Yeah.
My cat is an indoor-outdoor cat.
Well, I mean, thankfully mine are not outdoor, but I have the same issue. They rule the house. I actually have a book. It's called Two Cats and the Woman They Own.
That's you.
Totally. 100%.
That's literally you. That's 100% you. It's so funny. No, I'm super excited to get into today because I feel like you and I haven't synced up in a really long time. And there's just been so much going on. Like, how many trips have you taken? You know, like, I feel like we just need to do a really brief, pull out your phone, go through all the last things that you and I have accomplished in the last quarter. It's not very often that I personally ever talk about my accomplishments. I know for you, it's the same thing, not necessarily because we're not proud or that, you know, but it's like, well, we can't always just sit here and say, well, I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this, because that's not how we work.
Yeah. And yet, oh my gosh, you've had such a full summer and some really awesome, amazing, exciting things. And, you know, it's September 5th. It's Labor Day when this is going to air. And it's a big time of transition because it's like the official, unofficial end of summer, start of fall, right? And I mean, gosh, the year just seems to go on accelerated overdrive once we get past Labor Day, and then all of a sudden we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's Christmas or it's the holidays.
It's time to do our vision board again, which I literally feel like we were just recording the vision board. Like, what is going on?
I know,
so, yes,
exactly.
I'm ready to unpack all the fun stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, let's start with the fun stuff that we did together. And I think we probably talked about this a little bit, but I road tripped to Omaha to be part of Lit Fest, which was, oh my gosh. I mean, I know we talked about it because you were airing it as an episode to introduce it as the nonprofit that you and Jordan had established. And I mean, I got to be part of it. I got to be a speaker. I got to be a vendor. I got to be a participant. I got to see it from all angles. And I mean, first of all, amazing what you did to transform your space and the vision that came together. Obviously, you didn't do it alone. Lots and lots and lots of people, help, sweat equity, ideas, money, time, energy, all of it went into that event. But share, like, from your experience being in it, as well as the one who did like literally 99% of every other element of it. Like, tell us about it.
Yeah, so Lit Fest is a vision that came to me in 2021 while I was out for a run. I was basically told, you are going to start a female empowerment movement. And I said, what are you talking about? No, I am not. I have no idea how to do this. And then the next thing that the voice came to me and said, and you will host a luncheon at your house. What? And you will invite the public. Okay, what? I'm opening up my house to the public. Sure, whatever. So this year we had 250-ish persons come. We raised a total of $14,000 dollars. And basically what LitFest is an opportunity, an economic opportunity for local female business owners to come together and just put on an awesome show, a great party where no one's asking to donate anything. Everyone's just getting paid what they should be getting paid. And then any of the proceeds are going towards a scholarship. There were, like I said, 250 women there. Out of those 250 women, one woman will be awarded $2,250 to go towards her small business or nonprofit of her choice. There will be an application process that actually launched off the September 1st. So you have until October 1st to apply to be selected to be the Lit Lady of the Year. So that was very exciting, very overwhelming. It was a very hard time in my life. Prior to hosting LitFest in my home, I went to Tahoe because my spirit was so broken. The summer was, I want to say 33. The year of 33 was the best year of my life. I loved 33. The year 34 of my life was the worst year of my life. It was just the most difficult, but I pushed through. And so LitFest came right after one of my mending seasons, or one of my mending sessions with there were, I don't know how many of there, I want to say 8 of us. There was 8 of us in Tahoe. And unfortunately, but fortunately, that was like that whole trip was to help me just to get back to my me. But LitFest was incredible. LitFest, there was camaraderie, there was sisterhood, there were seeds that were planted, there are things that happened that day that will change the trajectory of Omaha and have already done so. Out of LitFest, there was this cute little gal. Her name is Kat. She was sitting in the middle of all of it. She had bright red lipstick, and I was like watching her because she was drawing the whole time, like drawing with markers, not like trying to be discreet about it. And from LitFest, she got this brilliant idea of what's called sistership. And so that's launching October 1st. And basically think of Girl Scouts combined with a sorority, combined with Bible study without the Bible, combined with sort of AA, and all of those 4. And I say that because it is all 4 of those meshed together. That is sistership, and Kat is leading that initiative. And so LitFest was insane. It was amazing. We're doing it again next year. This time we're doing it under the stars. So it'll be at night. It'll be cooler. It will be a full day event. It's going to be incredible, and I want you to be a part of it. If you guys are listening to it, travel to Omaha that weekend. Do it. Come see us. Come change your life. Come hear some things that you need to be heard, but also, just come replenish and restore your soul. That's what the whole thing is. The whole intent is, how can we be here for you? How can we support you? How can we uplift you? And how can we uplift the other women that are around us?
Yeah, I mean, from my viewpoints, and I had kind of multiple ways to experience it, what was so astounding to me, not only is it changing the trajectory of Omaha, it is changing the trajectory of many of those women who attended. And as somebody who's a little more seasoned than many of the people who were there, it was really beautiful to literally be in the moment of somebody's blossoming, to be in the moment of somebody's epiphany, to experience in the moment somebody having like their aha message come to them. And I know that those things are going to serve them well, obviously, going forward. And I think just the event that was put together was incredible. I will tell you, I did not love the heat and humidity. So I'm excited for next year for it to be.
And that's one thing that everyone runs around, because this is my jam, right? If it's 120 and I am drenched in sweat, I'm like, I want to go faster. I want to go harder. I want to run. I want to walk. And everyone, I like looked around me and everyone was so miserable. And I was like, I love this heat. So duly noted. I'm the only one who appreciates it, but there are changes being put in place so that Lit doesn't have to be completely on fire, temperature-wise.
Excellent. Yeah. I love that.
I want to hear about Anchorage. I mean, Alaska. You went to Alaska how many times this summer?
Well, just once this summer. So I was there
Okay.
twice in March, but this summer it was for fun. So the friendships and connections I made when I was there in March for the American Heart Association, they had said, "Oh, you should come hang out, come visit us in the summer. It's so beautiful. It's so much fun. We'll take you here, take you there, do this, do that." I'm like, okay, because as you know, I'm all in this year. So I was in Omaha for 4 days in the beginning of June. Before I went to Alaska, then I met my family in Michigan at my sister's. My parents came from Hawaii. They did a hello to everybody in Wisconsin, and then we all met in Michigan and did about 5 days in Michigan over the 4th of July weekend. And then I went to Anchorage end of July to early August and stayed with the gal who was the chairwoman of the Go Red event in Fairbanks and her family, and just the amazing hospitality, and that everybody there who's living very busy lives, they found a way to take time for me, with me, to go and do beautiful things, go on beautiful hikes, take me to the lake house. I mean, the universe was smiling upon me because they had rain the day I got there. It stopped. It stopped for almost the whole time I was there, and then started up again the day I left. So I really got to experience a lot of the beauty. Denali showed her face while I was out for a walk and a hike with one of my friends, and also got to do a little bit of work while I was there. So that was great as well, and made some other new connections, which people are going to hear some of that on this podcast here in the coming months. So it was a really great mix of, continuing to sow those seeds and nourish them from a professional standpoint, but I mean, just from a personal experience as well, and already have a trip planned for next May, because there's a fundraising event that the Anchorage American Heart Chapter is putting on in May that I told my parents about, and they're like, "Oh, we want to do that." I'm like, well, then let's go to Alaska next May for a family trip.
That's awesome. So, that's beautiful. And all of this stemmed from your March event. I don't know if we ever shined light on the actual podcast of what you did in March, but tell us really quickly, what were you up there in March for?
Yeah, I was invited to be the keynote speaker for the American Heart Association Go Red for Women luncheons, which Go Red for Women is something I've been involved in for many, many years. American Heart Association is something I've been involved with for many, many years here locally, but I've never been invited to speak. And it was it was definitely a bucket list and like highlight of my career. It was... it's indescribable just to be up there. The pictures,
you looked so yourself. Like, you looked like you looked confident and poised, and just, it was beautiful. I love seeing the pictures of you on stage, and I was just like, you go girl. It was very, very cool, little sister, very proud moment for me to be able to see you doing what you were created to do,
Well, thank you. It really did feel great, but here's big sister proud moment. You were also in the spotlight in a very big way. And when I saw those pictures, I was like, oh yeah, right here. Better being right here.
Man, so, that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So LinkedIn is my employer. They have what is called SK. That's the SK23. It stands for Sales Kickoff, and they fly in. This year there were 6,000 of us. There were 6,000 of us that flew into Las Vegas. We all stayed either at the Venetian, the Palazzo, or it was all in the same hotel. So there were 6,000 LinkedIners, and it was just it was super cool. I loved it. It was something that made me realize, wow, I was made to help with events. I was made to help, with maybe not even the on stage, but even the backstage, like orchestrating, running things through to make sure that everything moves smoothly and swiftly. So there was this position that they sent out in an email, and it's not like a paid position, but it was just like hey, if you're an employee and this sounds like something that syncs up with you, we're looking for chief fun officers. And I'm like, what? Yo, I am fun. I am the chief, and I can totally be an officer. So I can totally be a chief fun officer. So I signed, I think on my application, one thing, if you guys ever have me apply for something, I cannot stand writing. Like, if you ask me to write a paragraph about me, I'll be like, Enneagram 3, my Gallup top 5 are this, and my name is Sasha Burscheid. Like, I don't do writing. So in the application, it was like, why do you want to become a chief fun officer? And I think all I wrote was, I am the definition of fun. Like, I don't like to write about myself. I don't like to talk about myself. It was just something that has always just been embedded as me, is just we don't talk about our things. We don't talk about, like, we just stay humble, you know? And so I have no idea, besides the universe aligning me with my true me. And they had asked for different ideas, different pitches. And I said, man, I could totally be a cheerleader. I could be the LinkedIn mascot. I'll be the cheerleader, and I will just cheer everyone in. And then I will have a segment and all this stuff. And they let me do it. They let me be the LinkedIn mascot. They let me cheer. I was in my cheerleading outfit. And mind you, this is how I know that it was a gift from God. The day that I had my presentation on stage in front of everyone, the day where I was, you know, in my uniform, synced up, and just in my persona, like in my own, I don't know. It was my, what is it? 8? Am I 8? Yes. My 8th year of sobriety, my birthday. So 7/27 was also the same day that I was performing for everyone on LinkedIn. And I don't think I've ever been on that type of a cloud before. I'd never been I was just high off of life, literally just high off of life that day. It was an exceptional day, surrounded by persons who genuinely love me. Diana Coger, she's my coworker, and she made that trip something that will never be able to be replaced, which I think is why I need to shout her out for the support, the love, and the encouragement that woman provided to me. She was and is a definition of a better being. Just from the 48 hours that she provided to me, it was incredible. That day was incredible. That trip was incredible. I can't thank LinkedIn enough for allowing me to just be me, to not ask me to hide or to cower in, you know, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Like, no, they literally wanted me just to be me. And it was a beautiful gift that was given to me on behalf of my employer, but it was also a beautiful gift that was given to me by God to be able to do all those things. Be myself, be me on my sobriety birthday. Like, what? It was beautiful. It was incredible. And I'm very, very blessed, thankful that I got to experience all of that. Very
well,
cool.
It was. I mean, it showed in your photos. I mean, you can see it. And I think that's a message that you and I have talked about a few times, right? When you are being yourself, when you get to live your life, your truth, you get to share your gift and do what you know you were designed to do, it changes you. It's what I hope we are all really striving for, just in day-to-day life. Now, obviously, in day-to-day life, I don't get to get up on stage in front of 400 women and tell them how to reclaim their rhythm, and you don't get to be a cheerleader for everybody at LinkedIn. But can we do those little things in little ways? Can we check in with ourselves? Like, okay, why am I not on cloud 9 today? Oh, well, just because I'm living day-to-day life, and that's okay. I'm not going to always be on cloud 9. But am I far below cloud 9, and why? Why am I? Usually it's because there's something out of alignment, right? Physically, mentally, or emotionally, you are not living what is aligned with your core values, your principles, your goals, your priorities, your truth, all of that. And we can do that for a little bit of time and be okay, but we can't do that for extended periods of time and be okay. So when you had that experience, did that kind of really sink in, that message for you, and shift some things for you in any way, whether personally, professionally?
Both, professionally and personally. Yeah, it reawoken my inner beast. I don't know if it was sleeping, but I know that it was quieted, it was hushed, and it was asked to sit somewhere else because it was too much. I'm always told that it's me, myself, I'm too much. And between, you know, Lit Fest, between my sobriety birthday and being on stage, I am not too much. I am me. And if the persons around me cannot handle it, or if the persons around me cannot support it, then I'm going to take my me out of that situation and I'm going to go somewhere else where the persons or the place around me will just absorb me and allow me to be me, because it, like, this sounds so silly because it's an Eminem song, but it's all I can be. I am just me. That's it. Like, I am me. And if you're asking me whether you're my friend, my relative, if you are my coworker, like, if you want me to dilute myself, I'm removing myself from your life. And that has been the biggest and the hardest thing about 34 is I have lost friendships. I have lost coworkers. I have lost professional support. I have lost some of the closest relationships to me. And it's because they want me to dilute who I am, and I refuse to. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it because, Michelle, what you just said is you cannot do it for too long. What happens is you will go into an undeniable depression. And for me this summer, it took my community, the women, including yourself, Michelle, but the women who know me the most, and it was all women. It was not men. And this is why I'm pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing the community aspect. You were meant to do life amongst other women. You are, I mean, for women, right? And I'm not preaching to a man right now and telling you to go find 20 women to surround yourself. I mean, you can, but that's not what I'm preaching right now. You need to find your community. You need to find your
sistership.
Your sistership. Yeah. And you need to push forward because those are the people who want you to be you. That's it.
Yeah. And I think I know for me too, I squashed who I was and my truth and what I wanted to do because we're afraid of offending somebody, of ruffling feathers, of being, you know, called out for being too much or whatever. And yeah, again, eventually it doesn't work. Like you end up being the one who suffers. So I know this year has been incredibly hard for you. And yet we don't get to a better place without going through hard things. So and I know this.
I just got goosebumps with you saying that. I literally, and I don't like interrupting you, but I literally got goosebumps with you saying that because what is the one thing you always tell me about growth?
It's messy. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. And that's the reason we avoid it, right? That's why you diluted yourself because that was easier. So it's like I always say, hard now or harder later. So you're doing the hard now.
I'm getting that tattooed on my forehead or like maybe right here on my chest. Hard now, hard later. Like it has been my mantra for this last season. And it's like, I'm over this season. Either you're with me or you're not. Just get out of my way. Please. Yeah. You're hurting me. And when you're hurting me, you're hurting everyone around me or we're supposed to be ourselves. And I don't understand it. What does me being me have anything to do with you or hurting you? That's not fair. That's not fair for you to say that I'm too much or I'm too loud or I'm too happy. One feedback that I got from persons was that there is no way that I could truly and authentically be back when I was as happy as I was, that there was something wrong with me or that I was hiding something, because there's no way that I could have genuinely been so loving, caring, happy, and like whatever. And now that person's gone, I'm like, why was that even a conversation topic, that I was so happy that couldn't be real? You're not the right people. I can't be around you anymore now that I know that. Like, I don't know. I'm guarded. I'm guarded right now. But I allow myself to be around the persons that I know that will accept me for whatever and wherever I am today. And those are the people that I'm allowing myself to nurture this new season and to till this new soil and to say, I don't I don't know if I'm going to be super happy or if I'm going to have to cancel. I don't like canceling meetings or anything, but I am in a season where I have probably canceled more meetups than I have attended. And that's just where I am.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the growing process that we will probably all go through in some way at some point. And so we extend grace, and we extend grace to ourselves. We support, and maybe for that person who says you're too much or I don't like this about you, sometimes it's a reflection of something in them, right? And that's okay too. It's not to say that they're wrong and you're right or vice versa. We're just different. I'm too much for you. Okay, I'm too much for you. I'm not too much. I'm too much for you. And that's okay. You can remove yourself from my existence, or I can remove myself from your existence, because I'm me, you're you. It doesn't work. Okay. None of that is easy. It's all hard and yucky, and we have, a lot of conflicted emotions and feelings, and some of them become very, very, very complicated. Some of them are very simple. But it's also a reality of life. It is a reality of life that this happens, and that is part of the growth experience. And not everybody grows. Not everybody grows at the same pace. Not everybody grows in the same direction. But I think it is helpful for people just to observe, reflect, contemplate, and then make a decision and work through the yucky stuff, work through the hard stuff. If you think it's worth, coming to a different conclusion with somebody, great. If you decide it's not, then we go through that process. And I know I said it to you, your future self is going to be so A, proud, and B, grateful. And you're having a birthday here very, very shortly. So good news for you is 34 is almost over.
Whoa! And now that we're on this topic for my birthday is 9/9, so this is coming out on the Friday right before, the Monday right before my birthday. For those of you who are in Omaha, hey Bear, for those of you who are in Omaha on Friday 9/9 from 2 to 5 p.m., you guys know the very well-known 72nd and Dodge intersection. So for those of you who are not from Omaha, there's an intersection. It is the most vehicle trafficked intersection in all of Omaha. And this is where all of the persons go to they hold signs, and it starts with a P. What's it start? What is it?
Promote.
Like the protest. Promote. So everyone, when something's going on political, if something's going on, in a country with war, or as long, promote or protesting anything, if there's, abortion or marijuana or whatever it is that is going on in the news that week, you'll find people lined up on 72nd and Dodge holding signs, asking you to honk or whatever for the legislation or whatever. So what I decided this year for my 35th birthday, y'all, let's go hold some signs up on 72nd and Dodge, and let's just spread positivity. So every single person, if you're hearing this, you are invited to join me. We are going to just hold up signs that say, like, we are glad you're here, or you matter, or, whatever, nice butt. We are going to hold up these signs on 72nd and Dodge, and we're just going to make people smile. We're going to ask for honks. We're going to ask for high fives if they can give it. We're not taking money. We just want to uplift people. And even if that just means for those 3 seconds they see all of us being goofy, I'll bring my music, dancing on the side of 72nd and Dodge. We're just going to change someone's moment. Someone's going to say, wow, I'm thankful that those people spent some time and made me realize that I do matter, and there's a purpose behind why I'm here, and they reminded me that today while I was driving past 72nd and Dodge. So if you guys are here in Omaha, 9/9 from 2 to 5, let's go make some people smile and dance along while I'm holding my sign. My sign will probably literally say nice butt, so that's why I said it.
I love it. And this is what is, this is what is so beautiful about you, Sasha. This is your birthday. This is what you want to do for your birthday, right? And I know last year you had a kindness parade. I'm like, who does that?
Mm-hmm.
Sasha does that.
I
So
know.
I'm just going to tell anybody, even if you don't live in Omaha, feel free to steal these ideas.
Yes, please, please
Feel
change the
free.
world, you guys. Like if
Yeah.
you are like, what is a kindness parade? Hey, hit me up. I'll tell you. There was we had a bingo card, and we had all these different things of how to give back to the community, whether it be flowers, gift cards, high fives, hugs. We just ran around and we drove around for like 3 hours and just found people on the side of the road that we could bless. So that was a lot of fun. In the last, so since March, right, you went and did your Anchorage, your keynote speaker for that up there. What other crazy, beautiful, either adventures, hikes, traveling, professional things have you done, or personal things have you done, just to catch us up to speed?
Yeah, it's been a very, very full agenda. What I've learned, well, actually just reinforce something I know about myself. I don't love the fullness of the agenda that I've had. It is too much for me, but I love all of the things I did. So, yeah, the trips. I also went in April. I visited my friend Michelle, who's just on our podcast, for her 50th birthday in Northern California. I went down to a good friend of mine in May. She was having reconstruction surgery. She had a double mastectomy earlier in the year, and I couldn't be there and help her for that. So I found this week I could go down. That was so hilarious because she was like, girl, book all the virtual stuff you need. I'm going to be drugged up in bed. Everything went best case scenario. She had no issues. It was funny because we had an early call time. And the doctor was like, okay, so, probably 6 hours by the time we do the surgery and she comes out, da-da-da. So I had this whole morning planned. I was going to go to the gym. I was going to go find a nice little place and have some coffee, eat my breakfast, get some work done. I was going to have this whole day. I'm not even halfway through my workout and the doctor calls and she's like, so she did great. She's in recovery. You could come see her anytime. I'm like, but wait, I have a whole day. So she did great. Everything was best case scenario. We get home. So it was like 45 minutes away. We drove back to her house. I made lunch and we're sitting on the couch. It's 11:30 in the morning. And I was like, it's so weird what all just happened. Her son comes over later and we tell him this. He's like, oh, so basically you like ran an errand. Like, yeah, it's exactly it. So that whole week I was down at her house. It was probably one of the best weeks we've ever had friendship-wise together. She is a very on-the-go, busy all the time, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, she was forced to be still. She was kind of my prisoner. So I still did teach a lot, but on all my breaks, I went back to her bedroom and we, looked at stupid magazines. We Facebook stalked people. We, made good food. And we talked about hard stuff. I mean, it was such a great week for our friendship. Really, that was something I probably would not have been able to do had it not been for COVID and teaching us that we can work virtually. So that was awesome. And then Omaha, and then the family trip to Michigan, and then back to Alaska. And then my mom and sister were just here. We had a great visit. Went to go see Pretty Woman at the Buell. That was super fun. While they were here, I did a very quick trip to New York City to do an on-site workshop for a group there, Cintas Corporation. One of their depots invited me to come do a half-day workshop for the leadership as well as the management trainees. And I swear, every time I'm with a group like this, I really feel like I am now part of the family and they are part of my family. And I was just so, I don't even know, impressed is the word, but these management trainees, they're anywhere from like 19 to 24 years old. They were just soaking up everything I said. They were so inquisitive. They were super interested and involved and grateful and appreciative. And I mean, they all, connected with me on LinkedIn and sent private messages about how amazing that was. And I'm already doing this and this. And I was like, oh my gosh, what I do matters. This is really nice. And just to be back in person was really, really great. So that happened while my mom and sister were here, and then have like a day and then an out of town friend. So on this trip to California, I don't usually talk to people on the plane. It's irritating to me, but there was a woman at the gate. Our flight was delayed. She asked me like, hey, what's going on? I told her. Well, then we started chatting, and then turns out she's sitting right behind me on the flight. So we talked the entire flight to Sacramento. We got scolded by the flight attendant because we were talking during the safety stuff. We talked the entire flight. She ended up meeting my friend and I, Michelle and I, going on a hike. Well, she happened to be having to come to Denver for work. So she's like, hey, are you here? I could come a couple days early. So she was here, Rochelle. It was awesome. We had such a great time. She's a big Giants fan, so she got tickets to the Rockies and Giants game. I took her to Red Rocks, which was a bucket list thing for her, and that was awesome. And we just had a really great time with this random woman who only reason we are now friends is because she asked me, why are we delayed? That's it. It's the only reason. So that my dad comes in a few days. He's going to be here over Labor Day weekend on his way to go back to Wisconsin to play with his tractors. And my parents did tell us that they are going to be selling the house in Hawaii, moving back to Wisconsin officially. Yes, I know. You're like, wait, what? Yeah. You're like, wait, didn't they just move? Yes, they did. That's a whole other story. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
So now this is the only thing that comes to my mind is now I can bother him and ask him to like redo a Volkswagen for myself. Like I'm gonna be like, hey, this is something that I would really appreciate you to do. I'm being serious. So I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm going to, I mean, they'll be like 6 hours away from me. So I'll be able to go visit them. And then I'll be like, hey, I have a proposition. You want to get back into your hobby and rebuild a Volkswagen for me?
I tell you,
that would be cool.
The main reason they are leaving Hawaii, I will say, is because they're bored. You know, they remodeled the house again and it's done.
What's next?
My parents are doers. That's just what it is. It doesn't matter if you're 28, beautiful. 48, or 78. They are doers. And
they are following their their inner me's. And so that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them.
Yeah. So there's no rush on it. I mean, the house is listed for sale. They're going to find a lot back in Wisconsin and build their dream house. So, you know, my sister and I were not shocked at all. We kind of predicted this. So I'm really happy, A, that I have parents who are able to do what they want to do. And B, I'm proud of them for doing what they want to do and not, you know, let's face it, it's expensive to move back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they could just say, well, gosh, you know, we spent all this money. We have to stay here. No, they're like, you know what? No, our time is limited on this planet. We should go and enjoy our lives. And so I'm proud of them making that choice. Yeah.
That's incredible. So to catch you guys up to speed, that way I'm pulling out my phone, pulling out my last stops just to catch you guys up to speed on my summer. I had attended Omaha Mom Prom, fell in love with the organization, absolutely loved it. Shonda Kay does an incredible job putting that all together. She had reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to join the board. Of course I do. So I am now a board member of that 501c3 nonprofit. If you're in Omaha in March, we'll be doing Omaha Mom Prom again. 400 women come together, just get dolled up, looks super cute. And it's this year we have selected the Nebraska Diaper Bank. And I will have to talk more about them. You know what? We'll get them on this podcast because those women are incredible. We launched LIT as a 501c3. Cayenne started preschool. My girlfriend Paige got married. We updated the bylaws for the 501c3 nonprofit Project Intentional Inc. We now also help give out menstrual products to those facing period poverty here in Nebraska or in Omaha. I did a couple speaking engagements for the Heartland Women's Network. I did go to Kansas City. We went and visited Rupi. There was pretty much all the girls that went with me to Tahoe. Let's see here. We had Lit Fest, College World Series. I ran a 45-mile ultra marathon in 12 hours.
Beating last year's time.
Yes,
correct?
Yes. And no training. Yes. And no training this year because Michelle might be one of the only people that know. There's probably less than 5 people that know how dark my life was, but that was a very important moment for me to go and participate. I didn't care. My goal was 36 miles. I hit 45. Very happy about that. Let's see here. We had Lit Fest. I did say that. Project Intentional did a few events. My family specifically went to Lake McConaughey. So Andrew is still best friends with all of his college or his high school, middle school, elementary school friends. So there was a squad of like 30 of us. And I went to Boston, Massachusetts for a wedding, for my girlfriend Nicole's wedding. Vegas. And that brings you up to speed. That was my life the last 4 months.
And I mean, so much, obviously you have a full-time job and 2 babies. So, these are like in addition to,
Yeah, in addition to everyday life. And I just had to pull all that stuff off my Instagram. I know that there was so much. If I didn't mention you, I'm so sorry. I did go to, there's so much that has happened. I'm so thankful for all the things, even the hard things, But yeah, I'm thankful for all of them. So,
well, and
that's really caught up to speed.
Yeah, as we said, obviously we're headed into fall and winter and holidays and all of that. And I know your plate is incredibly full. So listeners, just a little heads up. Sasha's probably not going to be on as many of our episodes as you are used to having her on, but she hasn't gone anywhere. We are still Sasha. We are still the Be a Better Being podcast. Yes. But you are going to be stuck with me solo a little more frequently. But,
for sure.
We just wanted to catch everyone up to speed and let you know what's coming ahead, and you're still going to have really great content. We already have a lineup of amazing guests. I'm so excited for our September lineup. There's awesome people. That's it. Any closing thoughts before we officially wrap up?
Okay. So last January, I'm pretty sure I've never shared this story with you guys on here. If I have, then you get it twice because my memory has completely failed me on this one. But last January we went and we drove from Omaha to Mission Beach, California and back. One of my favorite things to do is go to national parks. One of the things that I thought of while I was at the national park is this. There are signs everywhere that says, please leave the national park better than you found it. And I started thinking to myself, why do we not do that everywhere? Why is this only in this sacred land that is like, pick up after yourself? No, we need to do that everywhere, everyone. It doesn't even need to be about littering. I'm telling you, if you are at a store, leave the store a better place. If you meet a person who's having an incredible day, allow them to have an even better day because they met you. Or if you see a piece of trash at a gas station, pick it up. It doesn't have to just be a national park that you leave a better place. You can leave anywhere and anyone better than when you found them.
Well, that is a beautiful message to close us out on. Thank you, my friend. Always wonderful to see your face. Fun to have this conversation. Fun to get even caught up because I think there were some things in there that I wasn't, aware of just because that's what happens. Life gets very full. And hopefully you all enjoyed our little recap of what we've been doing, and look forward to having you continue to tune in, listen to our guests, listen to us, and of course to go and be a better being.
Thank you for listening to the Be a Better Being podcast. Michelle and Sasha hope that what you heard today inspires you to embrace this journey of life with an open mind, a kind heart, and a willingness to learn and evolve. If you enjoyed the content, please help spread their message by subscribing, sharing, and leaving a 5-star review. If you have a show topic idea or would like to be a guest, please visit betterbeings.net and fill out a contact form. Until next time, go and be a better being.